how are you convincing these young people? Because that young person's going to say to me, well, where is God then? Because God, I'm now an orphan. My mum and dad left me.
Yeah.
Where was the God then when I needed him? They're gonna ask you that question. And what are you going to say? Have faith? And they're going to say, I don't care about faith. What do you keep saying have faith for? I've had faith all my life. My parents are gone. I'm starving. Where's the food? I've asked God for food. Food still ain't come.
So you pray.
What's up? It's Where the Keys Out. We're back in the house. I ain't been in this chair for a little minute, but I'm back in here, sitting next to my boy.
You know, your boy here, Tezza T.
All right, we're going to flip to the other camera in a minute. We've got some special guests, one of which we've been trying to get for time, really. Should have been here, like the heart and soul of Suffolk, really, if you follow his socials and let him introduce himself.
Yeah, man. Supa, or they know me as Marky. Marky Barrett, yeah. In the place, yeah. WTKA, yeah, man.
Yeah, and yourself.
Well, excited to be here. My name is Chris Zion, from Africa, in particular Zambia.
So Super, I follow your social media. Obviously, we go way, way, way back, all of us. But as of recently, I feel like in the last 5 years, you've just made it your goal to promote everything, whether you're attached or not. Tell me about that. Where did that come from?
Well, it's just sort of thing where after my father did die still, you know, rest in peace, Leroy Moses, I just put it on myself where I needed some comfort in myself. Do you know what I mean? And one thing I did remember my dad saying, he said, you know, as long as you deal with love to people, you're all right. You know what I mean? So it's just a little thing where I did inherit it still, but it was just like the dominoes, tournaments and everything like that. It's just something what I inherited and just try fulfill. You know what I mean? Just try to do the positive things in life, you know? And me doing this to the community is probably, to me, showing me it's a positive thing. You know what I mean? And that's what really I want to show. So that's probably where it created and where it came from.
Yeah.
It's good though, isn't it? Because like, it sounds mad, but like, if I need it, I'm not going to click on Supa's page, innit? That's like one of them ones there. If I know, it's there. But also what I like, you're constantly promoting and pushing Ipswich.
Even when he's not attached to it?
Yeah. It's like, and don't get me wrong, you do promote other events, what's gone out of town, but I love how you're kind of always posting what's going on in the community, posting figures of the community. Do you know what I mean? Posting love for the community, you know, things, you know, like birthdays, funerals. What I'd say with you, you're Mr. Consistent, man.
Yeah.
It's a key figure for the community, especially since like we haven't got like the Caribbean Centre anymore and stuff like that. Like I feel like you're the hub. You know what I mean? Like the Caribbean used to be that place that you could go to and information would get passed on to each other. Yo, so but now we ain't really got that. But I feel like we've got that via social.
Yeah, I hear that.
You know what I mean?
And what this is like, we're talking here today, you know, it's Black History Month and there's a lot of things going on in Ipswich for the community. But I kind of, even the vibes where I am, I'm sitting and I'm watching the media and everything, you know, I just think there's a lot of things destroying the communities, you know, but I don't know, what I see probably got embedded from earlier when we wasn't even about. This is from slavery days. It's still embedded in here, in this society. So when I would put a post out deliberately for the black people them to highlight and see.
Yeah.
But I would still see the hating or the bad mind, I could say, when even someone's putting on an event, instead of working with them, they'll rather put on an event the same night. I've seen it all. And me personally, the other day, as I said on one of my media sites, I thought, you know what, let me promote everyone or everything that's happening that night. And I've noticed there was around about 4 things on that night when the crowd and the people, if it was just one event, it would be the best probably night in Ipswich, but because people are so much divided or don't like to see a next black person do well, they would try fight against it or be negative towards it, which I've clocked that, which I think those things would have to change really for the future or for the better of Ipswich, you know?
Is that different? Because we're slightly younger than you, yes? I'd say, are we one generation behind maybe, or half a generation behind? Your start was in
In the 80s,
Promoting, yeah?
90s, really.
DJ and promoting music.
From when I started up with Missile, that was what the first like Ipswich crew I did really link up when I was growing up with Missile. But then over the years, I've moved on. I've linked up every crew now in Ipswich because I'm now in my 50s. You know what I mean? But when I was in my teens, it was a different world to what is now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What do you think that happened though? Like, why is there this divide?
I said from when I first started talking here, I said, look, it's a thing was embedded from a long time ago. And I do believe a lot of things that are happening in the world right now is the benefits of slavery days.
Right, pitting black people against each other and all that sort of stuff.
It was a book. There was a book. If people know, you go to Liverpool, you know, I know there's a few Liverpool supporters around me at the moment, but you go to the Liverpool Museum, you see it there. There's a Bible there that says 100 ways to train a black man. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's open. If you really want to do the history, you can look for it. But what I'm saying is, it shows you 100 ways to treat a slave.
Right.
And back in the day, I learned this when I was a youngster. I heard that, say, if me and you have a child, they will swap childs over. Yeah. So you end up bringing your brother's child up, and, you know, people see negative in that. They pick out that. But they still got the love for the child. But the master, the slave master, used to swap kids. If they know their kids are born the same time, they would swap the kid to another parent. We look after the other parent kid. There's a whole heap of mix-up. So when I mean it's deeper than what you really see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
It's literally in the blood.
It's in the blood from when slavery are gone. And it's just deep. It's deep. I'm not happy the way how it was, but we now, as born in England, because a lot of people look at me, I could put on my Jamaican accent, I could put on whatever, but a lot of people look at me and wonder, where am I from? Right. Am I from actually Ipswich? And when I tell them, I'm from actually Ipswich, they're confused because they think I've got so much different chemistries in me, which when I used to live in London, which I used to live in Jamaica, it all comes out sometimes.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
To the point, and he's on the phone earlier to his daughter. She said, I could hear her on the speaker, Dad, don't do the Jamaican accent on it, please. So where are you? Where's your family from?
My mum's from Jamaica. St. Elizabeth, Spanish Town, and my dad's from Antigua.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
You see me?
Antigua, you see me?
You see me?
Yeah,
So,
man. That's where my family's from. Well,
you
my
know,
mum's side of the family's from still, so
I'm blessed that I've been to Jamaica. I've lived in Jamaica, you know, a few years and everything, you know, done a lot of things in Jamaica, but I haven't been to Antigua, so don't get me wrong, 2006 coming up, hopefully I should be there. I want to go see where my dad's from in Antigua. So 2006, that's what would I tick off.
2026. So you spreading from your community. I wouldn't say community work because you're not necessarily getting paid. It's just out of the goodness of you're pushing the culture. You brought in Chris today.
Yes.
Chris is from Zambia.
Zambia.
Okay, so tell us about what you do.
Well, I work with the community.
Okay.
Most likely, like young people, try to make sure that they're peaceful where they're living. Because when you look at generations, they lost their culture. And they just do their own thing.
Is that here, would you say?
You know, I'm not saying they say in here because here it's totally different from where I come from.
yes.
In Africa, it's where I come from. It's totally different. To say England and Africa, is totally different from our cultures and stuff and so on. But that's why mostly likely I deal with people with orphans, especially orphans, people that don't have father, mother. Okay. These are double orphans. Try to make sure that they can have life also.
Okay.
Even people, some of the people like in prisons, try to visit the prisons so that the people can liberate or they can they change from their old ways and become the right persons so that they can be amongst the community. Okay. Because some of them are danger for the community. But if you try by all means to talk to them nicely and help them, that you can do better than this.
So you're a pastor here as well?
I'm a pastor where I'm coming from. Most likely is I do it in the outskirts of the town, in the rural areas where people cannot go there, and but we try to help them have good water. So it's really challenging. But when you look at here, it's totally different.
The problems are different here, right?
Yeah.
Like, especially young people's problems.
Yeah.
I don't really see a lot of... I didn't grow up with religion. There's not a lot of young people that go and worship anymore. I don't know if that's because they've got loads of other distractions. What do you see?
Yeah, when I came here, I tried to work on one of the churches.
Yeah.
One of the church where I work on, I find that the only old people that are in that church. Because the ones, they don't know who they are, who to worship, and what they can, what's the importance of being a worshiper or take the word of God in their lives to live with it. But it's totally different. Each one is on his own world.
Yeah.
They think their own way.
Yeah.
That's when you look at the Bible, that trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not on your own understanding.
Yeah.
In all your ways, acknowledge God. But I don't see anything that acknowledging God in their youth, acknowledging God to know who are they in Christ. Who is God? Who is Jesus? Something like that. But I'm not saying they have to follow what they do, but just to know that for them to live is God. The air they are breathing is God. So that is the most important, likely, that when we are living here on earth, we must understand that we are not here for ourselves. It is a God who allow it to happen that way. Nothing new on earth that we can say, okay, this is new, that is new, that is new. No, nothing new on
Even
earth.
Facebook is God.
Yeah.
I think this is the problem with kids, and even myself. Honestly, I'm listening to you talk, and I respect everyone, but I've always had a trouble accepting that message, especially as a black man. Like, I think religion is troublesome. Me and Tio have gone back and forth on this because we're on different sides of it.
Yeah.
But I think with our history and the way religion's been appropriated to control us in certain situations, and the way we're informed now, I think young people look at it like they look at the government sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know about all that. I don't know.
because they would definitely say, like, politicians and religion is the same pot. You put them two cause the biggest problems in the world. When there's wars,
Divide.
It's the way they're used, right? Like, religion's not the problem.
Religion and politicians is the same. They're in the same pot. And you listen to it, and I can imagine the youth, them seeing what's going on and thinking, I don't want no part of it, because it's just negative. You put on the news and they show you certain high headlines news. It's all negative.
I guess on the flip side, whether you believe in the messages of the Bible and religion, and I don't know any of them really, if you look in like African countries where they are more religious, I bet the communities are tighter than they are here. And we don't have, maybe the religion is the thing that just keeps, whether you believe or not, you meet up, you talk, you know each other every week or whatever.
But for me, I might say that most likely is we say human right. I may say that human right. The human right, the way it is when we become more human right, we are forgetting about how to handle ourselves on our way. Because of the human right, I can do whatever I want. Because that is also killing it. Because I can do whatever I want. But in old age, they have to say, thou shalt not do that. Thou shalt not do that.
Yeah.
Thou shalt not do this. That's where sometimes myself I see.
But what do you see? Like, have you seen any problems with, like, how long have you been in England now?
I'm not been in England for a long.
How
what
long,
I can
roughly?
say for 9 months.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're fresh.
Yeah, so I'm fresh to the system,
Yeah.
the way it works in here, but it's totally different from Africans because should be 75% Christians. You find people worshiping the Lord maybe from morning up to 12 o'clock and then coming out. But
Yeah.
here you say
We're too
maybe-
busy.
Yeah,
Too
the
busy.
people
Too
they're
busy.
too
They ain't got
busy.
time for that. Yeah.
They want money.
And money is a
Oh,
religion
want
as well.
money,
Money, religion is money. You know what I mean? They
Yeah,
use it
yeah.
all to make their schemes.
But you saying that you're trying to reach these young people. How are you reaching these young people? I know you're talking about you're trying to. How are you convincing these young people? Because that young person going to say to me, well, where is God then? Because God, I'm now an orphan. My mum and dad left me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where was the God then when I needed him?
Yeah.
They're gonna ask you that question, and what are you gonna say? Have faith. And they're gonna say, I don't care about faith. What do you keep saying have faith for?
Yeah.
I've had faith all my life, my parents are gone.
Yeah.
I'm starving. Where's the
Yeah.
food? I've asked God for food. Food still ain't come. Like,
So
no,
you're praying to something that ain't there.
But
like, it's never
that is the
coming.
mindset of what young people are. Why is
And
there
they,
these
remember,
wars?
they get told to pray every day
Yeah.
for change
Yeah.
or forgiveness or whatever. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
People nowadays need to see proof.
yeah,
Yeah? And if you can't prove to somebody, it's very hard to convince somebody.
Yeah.
And that's the problem.
Another sometimes is how can you convince someone?
Show me.
It's show me.
Got eyes. You
Yeah.
got eyes.
I have a
Got
phone.
eyes.
Yeah.
See it there?
You got eyes. You got eyes. But I did
And
see
that is what people want.
That's-
now, innit?
that's-
Like,
that's
yeah.
proof.
I
We're
did
so
see this
used
the
to
other
that.
day, right?
Yeah.
I was shocked, right?
Yeah.
Because the Russians, apparently, everyone hate the Russians. Like,
Yeah.
Europe hate Russians because of their dominance. I don't know, whatever, right? But what I'm saying, right, they opened up a vote the other day, right?
A vote.
A vote.
Okay.
Yeah. And they show certain archives from back in the day of books. Yeah. And they have a black Jesus in in the book, right? And the argument was, how come for so many years, like even when I was growing up in the 70s, 80s, you go to a normal church in England, it's got a blue-eyed, blonde-hair Jesus. So when Russia and they opened up the book and they showed a black Jesus and that, it confused the world, like in a way to say, okay, all our lives we've been getting lies, and then all of a sudden, these books are getting open and the truth is coming out now.
And hidden histories.
Yes, and it's now coming up now where everyone's seeing the archives now and seeing what's going on. So when you're talking and T-Roy said, see me, show me, you have the phone, you have the evidence, no.
Okay,
you know what I mean? Than just like what you hear and grow up with, you know what I mean? So it is confusing to say the next generation to say, okay, they lied to my parents, they lied to my grandparents, now I'm seeing all this, how am I supposed to react to this? And a lot of the youths them right now, they're rebelling against the system
Yeah.
because of religion and history.
If you want to believe what I do, first of all, look at myself, how I handle myself on the way I talk to people. That also, or sometimes the way you dress up.
Yeah.
The way you dress up, the way how you respond when someone provoke you. And then they'll ask you, for you to be a good person, how can help me to change? Then that person will try. It's not about force someone to say you change. It's first of all you have to look at a person. When you read the Bible, there's a city or a town they called Sodom and Gomorrah.
Yeah.
Sodom and Gomorrah, everything was there, money, everything, whatever it was there. But what they were doing was to do each one on its own way. They will sleep with the child, or they'll sleep with the mother, they'll sleep with this one. But there was also a man there who was a good person, and that was Lot with his children. So what happened? Even when they saw the visitors came to that town, they said, "Oh, come, bring out those people that we can sleep with them," but because there was no culture.
So you're saying what is going on in the world right now
Yeah.
is like Sodom and Gomorrah.
Yeah.
Selfish,
Yeah,
basically.
selfish,
We're
yes.
thinking about
Same
ourselves.
Yeah. Because that is what is happening right now. Because I hear one person was saying, I walk out here in England. I went to one of the house. He said, "Oh, my boyfriend is coming." But this person is a married person. He has a man.
Yeah.
And he said, "My boyfriend is coming." And the husband is look at him to say, "Oh, you are going as a boyfriend? Go. You find me here." But when you look at the African setup, it's really a taboo. Just right there, you depart, goes away, separate ways. But here it's totally different. Human right. No, you're right. You can do whatever you want. Go, you will come back. you'll be sleeping in the same house. Your boyfriend comes in the house, do whatever they want, they go out and stuff and so on. It look like Sodom and Gomorrah. In here, there's a contract.
So you can basically, you're saying you can get married freely in Africa without no contract.
No, it's not a contract, but it's a permanent one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but how do you? That's confusing to us because we
This
use
is
it a
what I'm
certain
saying,
way. Yeah? So in
educate-
Zambia, I
explain
can
that.
go, yo, this woman, I'm going to marry her.
Yeah.
You do a ceremony.
Yeah.
And because we said so, it is so.
Yeah, when you say I'm gonna marry you, it's for life.
So in Zambia, and this I bring this up because I was talking to someone about this the other day. We have polygamy and monogamy, and I know in some countries that are not in Europe, you can be polygamous. Can you be polygamous in Zambia? So can I marry 3 or 4 women? There's no contract, so surely I can.
Some of the part of of Zambia, they've got that culture
Yeah.
that does that. You can either get 5, 3, 4.
So what does the Bible say about that?
But it's against it. But the other way is
no, then there's a conflict. And these are
Yeah,
the kind of
it's a-
things
it's
that
a
And
people
you're
go,
from
well, wow.
Africa, and you're getting a conflict from what you're doing.
yeah.
You see me? That's how it seems. That's what you're telling people.
But what I'm saying is, when you have 2 wives, also it's a problems can cause confusions.
Yeah.
Maybe you may like one you spend most of the time with that one, but this one, so this is where the conflict now comes through. You start
Is this
fighting,
for the women?
confusion for the woman. But the other thing is, if also you are not supporting both of them. You're not supporting, you don't have responsibility to take care of them. Why should you take 2? But if you're struggling one,
With what? Why take
why take 2?
Okay, so that's a broader question to you. If you lived in Zambia, would you marry 2?
I never want to marry none. No, but that's what I'm saying. So it's a weird one, isn't it? Because I suppose it depends on what culture you brought up in. Because if I'm brought up in a culture where that is the norm, you'll follow the norm, and that's what people do. People follow
What's
the
in front of
environment that
them?
they're in
Yeah, what's in
generally.
front of them, yeah.
So, and who are we to say that is wrong? That's like me saying you shouldn't be a Muslim. But if you brought up in a Muslim family, why should I say you should be a Muslim? That's like me saying you shouldn't be a Christian. And there's different variations of Christianity. Whether you're apostolic, whether you're Methodist, whether you're Seventh-day Adventist, whatever. They all read the same book, but all got the same different ideas. And that's the confusion with people. People were like, well, this person's saying this thing about God. He's a good person. This person saying that person about God. Because I know plenty of good people like you. I've been to church for many years.
Yeah.
I used to speak in church. I was a man of God for a long, long time. Prayed every day, all that kind of stuff. But what I'm saying is, you have so many different churches and people who are at the same level, talk the right way, dress the right way, all of those
say
things.
the
So
right
which
things.
guy is right?
Yeah.
How can I be the judge of him to say that what he's teaching me is wrong and what he's teaching me is wrong? And young people, they need black and white. They can't be. You can't have the same idea, but 2 people saying 2 different things.
Yeah.
That's confusion.
That is confusion.
That's confusion. You're talking about confusion. That's confusion. Why is everything so separated? Why is everything
Why
not
divided?
put back together? And then I hear what you're saying. If I walk the right way and I'm this a certain way, people will go,
He's a
hold
good
on,
man.
you're a good man.
Yeah.
But some people say you're just a good man. What's God got to do with that? Is what someone would ask you.
But also, you can dress up well, you can look good, but what comes out from you? What comes out from you? You say, you shall know them by their fruits. What comes out when they speak? That's why you can see
From the
this
actions.
person. Yeah, from the actions, you can tell that this person is contaminated. Even though look like this, but that is not what is inside him. So because of what he speaks and what he talks, that's way. Or like you.
But what you're saying there is a saying what I always remember growing up with. Yeah, it used to say, "Clean face, dirty heart." It's like when you say wolf in a sheep clothing. It's the same thing.
That's the same thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
What you see maybe is not the real.
Yeah,
It's an illusion. Like
yeah,
when you look into certain people or certain things, you think is it a lie or is it the truth? And you say a lot of things. What I see in religion is a lot of negative. Me personally, my mum, she goes to church every Sunday. She's probably at church now. But what I'm saying,
Yeah, for real.
I try not even talk to my mum about religion because we get into arguments.
Yeah.
You know?
I'll give you an example. Was one time it was like I was in South Africa. When I was there, I was stranded. I wanted to go.
Right.
I wanted to go back to Zambia. So I was ministering in the church, and then I was looking at the people to say, I think this one is going to help me. I think this one is going to help you, because I was looking at the way they dressed, the kind of the car that they're driving.
This is the vibes, their vibes.
Yeah.
And you pick that person.
Yeah,
And did that person help you?
And then in my spirit said, this person is not the right person.
Right.
And exactly what I said, it's not the right person.
Yeah.
He comes to me, talk to me, what. But I find the person was not even dressing well. Say, man of God,
They
how
don't
are
wanna
you
help you.
doing? I said, I didn't ask him. I said, I need your help. No. Okay, just give me all the details. In 30 minutes, I'll be back. He went back, bring the air ticket. Went back to South. So the way you look at the people, maybe you think this, even though the way they dress up, you think that, this person is good. But that is a good person. Is first of all, let that person speak out. What comes out from that person, you can tell that, say, this is it.
Yeah, I see that.
I think all communities, from culture, race, are always looking for a leader. Whether they've vocalized that, they're looking for a leader. And I
Yeah.
think the black communities are black communities that are outside of Africa. So, the people that came from diaspora, slavery, etc.,
Yeah.
found religion as the leadership. So we had ministers, whatever, who would lead us in the name of religion. And we didn't really have nothing else. We didn't have phones, we didn't have our own information. So that was something we could get behind. I think the trouble religion has now, because if you look at the stats, there are less people that worship, especially in the black community, is we got our own, we can follow what we want now. And you were saying earlier, like we're what were you saying? We're selfish because we're following different things. We've
Yeah.
got different goals. Even in our own communities, we don't really follow the same people anymore.
Yeah.
So religion's battling with that. Every day we're being told that you can be who you want to be. And as a black community, that affects us more because it's hard for us to unite in the first place, to go to an event in the first place. If there's no church leader or black woman or man there leading us all together, we just disperse and we end up not being together. And so I think the church was a good thing for the black community at a time. I think now it's a bit of a dated concept, if you like. Yeah? It doesn't mean God's not real, but I think the way the church still tries to appeal to people is dated. I think young people will not find solace or leadership in that way anymore. And the church really does need to update itself, doesn't it?
You're trying to convince people who can then just get on their phone and see
question that.
1,000 different versions of the Bible, 1,000 different versions of this, 1,000 different versions of that. All these different churches. You go on the church, you go online now, pay for your blessing.
Really?
Yeah,
What do you mean?
like churches are the rich.
What do you mean?
The churches ask people to pay, like, I'll heal you, I'll do this, pay me like $20, $30.
Wow.
People are living
a money thing.
Church is like a money spinning thing. People are conning people out of money now.
Yeah.
Pay
Conning
for
And I
people
would-
out of money.
I always remember this
Conning
from when
people
I
out
was
of money.
going, right? There was a
Wow.
thing called partner, right?
Yeah,
And the
yeah.
same thing what T's saying, right? It always was the minister of the church, yeah? And everybody, every week, everyone give the minister, say 20.
You still do it now.
50,
Do you know? The
right?
thing
And
is,
then every week, I saw one next to get the money.
Right, yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? So
Even
but
now, yeah.
But what happened? Partner will get the money and run off with the money.
Yeah.
And use the church to get the money, but then run off with the money when it get to a certain amount.
But that's what I was saying. Using religion, which is in itself innocent, to fleece people. Do you know what I mean?
well,
Some
in the
people do
Bible,
that, yeah?
in the Bible, you pay tithes. So,
the tithe?
so tithe is money. You give money to your church that you go to. Yeah, you're supposed to give 10% of your money, your wages,
Yep.
a month. That's what people pay. Most people pay that
That's a
in the
tax,
church.
yeah? That's a church tax.
That's what you pay the church. So 10%. If you go to church,
Yeah.
10% of your money they take out and it goes to the church.
Wow.
To the Vatican. That's the main hub.
And,
I mean, but
and what do I see for that 10%?
But I tell you what,
It's what people are
I'm
gonna
not
say.
religious, but I will defend that. Like, it's comfort. That's what you're buying is comfort. And people go to church and they get comfort in the stories. You're telling people it will all be all right. There's a place for you when you die, or the person who's sick is going to be healed. So you're paying for that comfort. It's like watching a soap. Surely you're paying for something to make you feel a certain way.
That one is really
Have you ever taken money?
You
for
pay
that?
tibes?
Have you ever
Yeah, I
taken
do.
tithes?
Yeah, you pay
now
tithes.
look at this.
So
one.
he knows.
There's something I know.
Yeah.
There is this thing I wanted to tell you something.
Okay.
One time I was at the filling station, and then I saw this person. The battery went flat, died. Said, "Can I help you?" He said, "No." I said, "Please, can I help you? I have a charger. I can help you." He said, "No, I don't want."
Yeah.
He said, "Go."
Yeah.
I went to the shop, I paid, I came back. And then this old man, he said, you idiot, let this person help you and go back home. Until that person accept my help. And I did that. And then he was helped. And after that, he came to me and said, "I've never seen people, if there are good people around here." Yeah, there are good people around it. But the thing is, you yourself, are you a good person
Is that
or
here
a
in
bad
England?
person?
Was that in England?
Yeah, it's also
he
in England.
experienced that in
And I
England.
was surprised. I told him, said,
Yeah, he told
"Hey,
me,
look, I was very upset because I wanted
he
to
offered
help."
his help.
That's
He
racism,
offered
my
his help,
friend.
Yeah.
right?
God made
And then
racist too.
you see the black man
That's
coming up
different.
to him
But
like
because
that.
Exactly.
this man is a
Of course it
white
is.
man,
Yeah, racism.
and then he looked at me, he said,
And he
"No."
offered his help.
Maybe he thought that, say, I cannot help him.
Yeah.
But he's struggling. You need to go home, and it was late. Said, "Can I help you?"
But he thought you
But
were
he
going
looked at my
to
skin.
rob him.
Yeah, yeah.
But you know what? Racism is in so subtle now.
Yeah, and I look at my
That is
my
it.
skin.
Of course it is.
I said, "I think this person cannot help me." But look at that. If you believe to say this one can help me, you can get it. But if it is not, you'll not get it.
Yeah.
That's the way it is.
You're like concerned with the community and what's going on. We've been talking about the past and how we think certain things ain't right, especially with religion, and they need to change. How does it improve? What do you see changing? And what's the ultimate outcome? What would be the best outcome?
All right. First of all, change must start from us. From you. It have to start from me. And then it goes to others. If I'm a changed person, I can also change others.
Can I stop you there? Because you're giving me the talk. I'm imagining myself being my son's age, and he's going, you're not giving me a direct answer now. This is what religion does. They kind of dance around, and that's why you lose the young people. If a young person says, "You got the answers given to me," and you go, "Everyone has to change in themselves," they're like, that's not going to happen. So I'm gone. You've lost me. So I'll give you another chance.
Yeah.
How's it going to change?
How can they change? You know, when you are dealing about young person, first of all, look at their attitude. First of all, try to be with them. Sometimes, I will give you an example back home in Zambia.
You got to try and be more direct, man. You're losing me. 16-year-old me. I'm lost. Do you see what I'm saying? I'm lost. This is why young people are not connected.
I'm not losing you.
You're lost.
I worked in a pub. There was prostitute there. And I said, "Hello, darling, how you doing? What are you taking?" I said, "Hey, how are you doing? What are you taking?" He told me, "I'm taking like in Zambia called Mosi, you know."
Yeah.
I said, "Is that what you're taking?" I said, "Yeah." I said, How many? Can I get one?" I said, Yeah. I'm excited. So he said, "Why here?" I said, "Oh, why I'm here?" And then I asked her also, "Why are you here?" You see that? Yeah. Then we are trying to get to know each other, and it's so that person can get to know me.
Yeah.
And then he said, "Oh, okay, I'm done. But look, I think you can give me 50 pounds so that I can go and sleep with you." I said, "Is that so?" I said, "Yeah. Oh, I can give you 50 pounds. Let's go." And then I drag her from where. I said, "Where we're going?" "We're going to that." I said, I drag her from where she was. And then as we were walking, said, "Here is the money I gave you, so I'm going to have." Then I asked her, "You accept 50 pounds. You accept 50 pounds. What about your health? If I'm sick or I am not human, then I sleep with you, you die today. Are you not care about your life?" And then she said, "What?" He said, "You must be a man of God." I said, "Yeah, I am." He said, "You know what? I've never seen a person talking to me like that. And you have given me money. And you've bought me beer." Chris. I said, "You are Chris?" I said, "Yeah." You know, from that she believed to say, I want to change. I live this. My mother died. My father died. I don't have a father. I don't have a mother.
So basically, someone with sense, you're showing her, you're the only person telling her sense. Everything else
Yes. Now she opened up. I said, I want to help you. Then I got a friend who was working in the...
Hold on, how did that story finish? Because you paid her the money,
I paid the money, yes. I paid her.
and then what happened?
Did you?
And all I paid, I leave her.
Did you sleep with her?
He left that part. He jumped past that
Listen,
part.
immediately when she realized, say, I'm a man of God, and then just there, and then everything changed.
Did you get your money back then?
No.
You just give it to
I
her.
gave her to her.
Oh, okay.
I said, go and make sure that. So do you need? If I can find you a job. Can you stop these things? And he said, I'll be very grateful. That's how you see you can change somebody's life.
Yeah.
It's not about. First of all, you know what? Do you know who I am? I am a man of God. Doesn't work that way. The first of all, it is your attitude.
Hearts
Do you
and
know what I
minds,
got? I'm a millionaire. It doesn't work that way.
It does though.
Yeah, it doesn't work that way.
I think
It's-
it does.
Yeah, but the people, you know, what causes that? It's because of the mind.
Yeah, and but religion's the same, right? Religion
Yeah.
is about capturing people's psyche and making them feel that they need this thing.
Yeah.
And
Give
is
them
that not
comfort
what
and hope.
celebrity and social media is too? I'm not saying it is as valuable, but the kind of method of capturing people's attention is the same.
Yeah, the first of all, you catch their attentions and then they get to realize to say who are you, and then after that, then you win them.
Yeah.
They follow you.
Yeah.
People cannot follow you without nothing. So we say that your gift, it takes you before kings. The gifts, the people realize what you got, they'll follow what you have.
Yeah.
They will not follow for nothing. They will not call you for nothing. You have a friend because of one thing.
But I'm that kid who goes, okay, you're a nice person, you're a nice man. You gave me £50, but you live in a 2-bedroom detached house in Bury. Just devil's advocate. I want a Ferrari though. You ain't got a Ferrari, bro. I want a mansion. You ain't got a mansion. Where's God give me that then?
but the same
God ain't
thing-
give me that, man. I need to go out and go do something else to get that. Like that's the mindset of some people. Like they
I'm gonna get
God,
that in
God
my
kind
life.
of comes to people at a moment of
need.
need. Yeah, that's the word I'm for. Or confusion or weakness or brokenness a lot of the times. And I think because that's when you're really you're not desperate, but you're looking for a map, a direction. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then when people have got everything in terms of money, they're never looking for God at that point in their life, are they? They think they are God. They think they've made
They
it
are
themselves.
made God.
And that's
They
a
feel that.
struggle.
And I think that's the reason why some people don't believe it, because
Have
that's-
everything.
if you've got everything, you don't need God. And then the problem is that's how certain religions and certain people capture people, because religions tend to capture the weak or the people who are in need, and that's the way you can sell it to somebody, and that's
Well,
what creates wars.
yeah,
You know,
well-
you look at like Palestine, Hamas, you look at all that kind of stuff, Israel, you look at all that kind of stuff. There's all these wars, and it's happening. It's not happening to the rich people.
Yeah.
It's happening to the people who are poor, and people will ask that question: why me? Why are you killing innocent children? Why are you killing these people? If there's a God, why is thousands, tens of thousands of children, innocent children, dying? Why has God not stepped in? Is a weird question that people will
Yeah,
ask.
a lot of people say that. And
Bigger picture,
Or you
though.
make
There's a big-
or
there's
someone's
a-
handicapped,
yeah.
like a kid in a wheelchair, and
that's
you feel
what-
say, is this what God blessed them with? Then, like and people
yeah.
do question things like that.
Devil's advocate though, T, yeah?
Yeah.
And I don't even know that answer because I believe you, really, what you're saying. But if I'm teaching a kid maths, yeah, and I'm saying like 4 + 4 is 8, and they're going, I don't need to know this. Like a 10-year-old, why do I need to know this? I don't need to know this. I know that in the next 20 years, maths going to be important for your mortgage, for debt, for
Everything,
credit, for family. They can't see the bigger picture. So I guess the religious answer would be like, God has a bigger plan than this small thing you're thinking about. Like this add 4 is everything to you in this moment, but you don't see beyond that, and I do.
Yeah, I get that, but that's that bigger picture.
That's death. What you're talking
That's
about.
but the bigger picture to other people is we're here now.
Yeah.
We're here now. Yeah, we may not be here in 50 years' time. So why Why do I have to suffer for someone in 100 years when God has come back, or 10 years? Why do I, why does my family have to suffer? Why do I have to go through this horrible abuse and this kind of stuff? Yeah, for the sake of people who's going to happen in 100 years.
Yeah, sacrifice.
So we're pawns.
Yeah.
So are we pawns? That's what these people are going to say. Are we pawns? And actually, why are we going through this? Because didn't Jesus die on the cross for us, for our sins?
Yeah.
Did he not die on the cross for our sins? So why are we now still suffering?
Why are we still having this?
He took the suffering for us. And I'm just playing. I'm picking at you because I believe in God.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you don't need to convince me because I'm blessed. I'm baptized, Holy, I'm Spirit filled. I speak in tongues. All of that. I believe in certain things. But the difference is, you've got to reach people and convince people. You've got to convince someone to do that. Not everyone's going to have that experience.
Could it
where
be, is there religion on social media? Is it like TikTok church? I'm surely that's
There is. Of course there is.
I'll tell you what,
Because that's what's now.
People are hitting people with
That's the way to do it,
artist
isn't it?
right
even
now.
music now.
I forgot his name.
Gospel song. People are singing. They're mixing R&B and they're hip hop and that shit.
There's this artist right now smashing up TikTok.
But that's
all
gotta
he
be the
does
way
is
it goes,
preach his
yeah?
God talk, but he's bad. He'll do the new stuff, like sound like the new artist them.
Yeah.
But everything that comes out of his mouth is biblical.
Yeah.
But
And
if you want to
you
get a
a good
20-year-old,
response.
like surely they're not going to go to a beautiful old building and see a pastor, but it's got to be like some modern way they interact with them.
Yeah, well, this is it.
So maybe you have a channel and it's not a TikTok channel where you're still in that church doing the same thing. You interact and look and present in the way they used to, but you're giving the message that you know they need. Has no one done that?
I think there is, but what I would say for me
Right.
to reach these young people now, if you want to get people into religion, you can't give them the Holy Bible. We've got this. The best thing is to make them go out and find themselves. The best pastors and the best ministers will turn around and say to you, "Don't believe what I say. Go and find it yourself." And the thing is, and I challenge. When I first went there, I used to challenge the pastor on that. He'd look at me and thinking, "Boy, you're mashing up my whole speech, like because you're challenging me." But then what I did do is I'll go back and I'll research and I'll do this. You can go back as far as you want. Jesus Christ did exist.
Yeah.
That's facts. History. You could go back in the archives. He did exist. Is he who he says he is? You could argue. If he isn't, the way I look at it sometimes, he's got to be the biggest con man that's ever lived in the world. You know what I'm saying? Because he's corrupting the world. You know what I'm saying? So, and I think that's where you capture people because if you can reach, like for you need to see proof. Now I can say, go look at this, you look at it, you go, right, I need to find nothing. And you'll go back. And if the same thing keeps popping up and you can't define it, dispute it, then it has to be true.
Yeah.
People think the word religion is quite negative.
Yeah.
I feel so. I kind of don't. Yeah, I kind of don't use that word.
Yeah, it's been.
But maybe that could be
turned into
what needs to happen. The church needs to show the spirituality of it. Like it's you sometimes you be around people and you feel a vibe around them.
So,
all right, so I want to thank you, Chris, for that. There's a lot of positive stuff in there. It is Black History Month, though, so we're going to wrap up. I'm going to wrap up with some just talking a bit about Black history, and it's interesting because you're not from here. In the UK, Black History Month was established in the 80s, I think 86 or 87.
Okay.
So we grew up in school, Black history, slavery, basically, Black history. In school, when you were at school, Mark, did they have Black history yet? Because it was established in the 80s, but it wasn't in school until the 90s.
it wasn't in the 80s, 90s. I noticed it was more highlighted in the 2000, millennium.
So how did you learn any Black history, if any?
With
when you
me,
were
I
younger?
think it's because I found out myself when I was growing up as a kid. I lived in Ipswich and lived in London, lived in Jamaica. So I kind of had those cultures all around me. And everywhere I went, I was talking to people, of course, around that time. Just even the music culture, because like when we was growing up, we had to go against the pop music, rock and roll. And it's only through the years now people realise even for them music to be created was through black musicians themselves.
Yeah.
And it didn't surprise me when I see these things now, but to a lot of, say, the youngsters, it would surprise them, but they don't realise a lot of the history, whether it's music, technology, anything, it did come from black people.
Were there any Black historic figures or leaders that kind of stick in your mind from that you learned about then? Because we always learn about Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, but are there anyone different that you learned through growing up?
As I said, when I was born, my mum called me Mark. I was blessed with my name Mark, but she always said your name should have been Marcus. And when I said, how do you mean Marcus? She used to say Marcus Garvey.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
So
Haile Selassie,
yeah.
man
So
there.
Yeah.
when I was a youngster, I always used to try and pick up a book and read about the things he used to do and say. So a lot of them things kind of mean to me. A lot of things what was coming out of Marcus Garvey and their speeches and their words. You know, as I said, Malcolm X. We always knew about Marcus Garvey, as you said. It's just there's a lot of Nelson Mandela. He was a big step for me still, because it took 27 years in jail for just having the freedom of speech. But you know, I did notice when he kind of got released, the world was at his feet really. Like, but to me, it was too late. They took 27 years out of his life before they even appreciated what he was trying to give to the people. Them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I say a lot of my knowledge was probably from older generation. So I lived with my granddad for a while, as you know, and stuff like that. And, you know, my dad, everything like that. And I was always around culture, black people, like, so even when I was little, I'd be sitting in my granddad's shed and there'd be like certain families there, and I'd always listen to their conversations and they'd talk about things, and I'd always ask questions, man, like the history that I always wanted to know about where they came from and how they became who they became and what got them over here and stuff. And so I'd always like ask questions. Well, yeah, you came over this year and blah blah. And so I got a lot of my information from then about Black history. But I guess the history that I learned was history of beings like of our generations. I guess is the history. It wasn't more about the spiritual people or the influential people. Like I knew about Marcus Garvey because my family were all came from up north, and every like if you go Liverpool, Manchester, Birmingham, Marcus Garvey centres and all that kind of stuff there. So I was like, what do you get Marcus Garvey centre for? Like, who is that? And then you realise, you know, who he was, and the conversations about him came through. But I'd say, yeah, for me, what I kind of school wise would have been Martin Luther King, Malcolm X. Do you know what I mean?
Malcolm X. I don't think they talked about Malcolm X in our school.
But not really much. Do you know what I mean? That was.
It's very watered down. I think actually Black History Month is not really for us. It's good. I think it's good to have it as a month. You obviously don't have it in Africa. Yeah. We have it here, but it's for them to understand us. We learned we're culturally black, so we're learning the stories, aren't we? We're learning about the people. Most of us are.
I feel like that Black History Month though is just a tick box thing, man.
It is a tick box thing, but it's a step towards.
It's confusing as well because I had this conversation with someone and like. In America, they say Black History Month is in February, and in England it's in October. Do you know what I mean? I think even before you start celebrating anything, we're black 365 days of the year. It don't take 1 month even. You know what I mean? But one thing I always said, they should really start. Well, I've heard in certain parts of England. You need to start educating the youth them about their history, because a lot of these youths don't know their history and they're confused. They're not interested really, apart from when they leave school, go on their phone, the gadgets. So really and truly, where you got to start it is in the schools. So until the teachers them in school start teaching Black history, the youths them are always going to be the same right now. Do you know what I mean? That's how I look at it.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
You know?
So you don't have Black History Month. You don't need Black History Month growing up in Zambia because everything is Black history around you. But what do you think of it coming here? Is it confusing to you, or do you support it?
It's not about confusing. The first of all is like in Zambia, there's a place sometimes there are some places where they used to the trade, human trade, getting Africans from getting African from people, or tradings. There's also mark. There's some of them there's a tree, like in Zambia, there's a tree that every time, sometimes when they're walking, moving out from where they got the African person, and then if you're that tired, this is a tree where this is a tree where they have to rest. And then there's also a wall. Today we call it it's a hospital, but now it's a hospital. It's underground. So that hospital is where after they get these Africans, they go and put them on that place, ready for transporting them. So we used to get those histories. Sometimes it makes like African to fear about a white person. But until the king, the queen. The queen came and visited Africa. Queen Elizabeth. My mother was saying, "You see, this is the Queen of England." And then when
I'm confused.
yeah,
Because now they're good.
yeah. Then I was saying, "But Mom, you were saying they're bad people. But why is
see?
she here?"
Yeah.
And then that is a racist question, Well, even now, when someone asks you why here,
Yeah.
it's a racist question. So even in Africa, there's a racist question where they ask you, why here? What are you doing here? And then when I look at them, because of that that thing that was in my brains, say they're bad people. And then I was asking, until say there was like good things, and that person was nice person, holding all of us, giving us some sweets and books. You say Queen's books and Queen's pens that we receive those things. And so it's like
Propaganda.
Yeah. And from there we're so excited and be happy. But what now comes in my mind, I wanted to visit England. I want to see where the Queen of England stays. In Scotland. Why we talk about learn about Scotland and some other parts of England. What I was thinking is a nice place. It's a heaven place. But when I came here, it's totally different.
Yeah.
So Africa, it's mostly important things. As an Africans, there's a lot of resources there. There's a lot of minerals and all those things that we need. They are there. But what we are lacking, like most Africans, selfish leaders that we have, if we have people that
Leadership.
good
This is what
leadership,
goes back to leadership all the time.
yeah. Even this European country will come to Africa and said, we have come to work because we've got emerald, we've got gold, we've got silver, any types of mineral that we can talk about. Like in Zambia, gods are all over there around that side. Even from my village, I can just go there, let's get this and let's get that one, and I sell it. And the other thing is the resources and how you can do this, you can. That's where the problem is. But if they can come together, unite themselves together, I think it can be heavenly. Because we have full of natural resources all over Africa. Because we eat food, nice food. We don't eat this junky food like where I'm seeing it around here. We see fresh food, healthy things, natural food that we have. I can go to the neighbor, get some vegetables and cook and eat. I get all those nice food that we can eat.
Without money, it's trade.
Sometimes I can go there and without money, I correct it. I can go to the bush and get some of the fruits. I eat, I'm okay.
Yeah.
And some people, they visualize Africa to be a very bad place, and it's people with those things, dirty things.
Propaganda again. But it's the same people who've done the propaganda by selling the Queen to you that are destroying your country's image over here.
It's the same thing. The same people.
It's all the trick.
And it's black history, isn't it?
It's
That's
about
all part
history.
of black history. It's all part of the black history.
So going just quickly before we go, we talked about some key figures that we learned about here. What key figures are you learning about in Zambia? Who are the people they teach you about, the black people they teach you about in history that inspire you or teach you about something important?
Mostly people that was on the forefronts, like the Nelson Mandelas, because South Africa got independence. Zambia got independence 1964, and then the other followed, and some other people like that. Yeah, but for me, talk about this man. I don't have much more about history, but this is the little thing that I can have. But Kenneth Kaunda's, like our president's former president of Zambia, who got independence 1964. This man, they fought so hard, and some other people around him. So they fought so bad, and we got independence. So for Africa, we want to be independent, to stand on our own, that we can make it without European countries, where we have seen
I think that's part of it now. That's what they're changing. They're trying to change that now.
I think that's a good place to end it, man. Thank you very much. Thanks, Chris, for coming on and
Thank
telling
you.
us your story. And Supa, thank you for being on with us today.
You're right, man.
Where
Yeah.
can everyone find you on socials?
Just Facebook, Insta, TikTok, you know, they're the main ones, you know what I mean? But I'm about, you know.
Well,
but
it's
big up yourselves. Don't know, just keep up the good work and, you know, bring on more soldiers. Bring more soldiers in.